Okay, we are in the 7th edition of Digitalk. Mr. Jairaj Patel. I'm just patching up with Mr. Jairaj Patel in a while, and I will definitely start this live session on the retail garment industry as of today. I'm just waiting for him to join the chat. Sorry for this minor delay. Generally it takes time for streaming and refreshing the Instagram live feed. So I'll just call him up. Yes bro, yes, please enter the chat. Please enter the chat by refreshing my live. You refresh your first page, you will see a live on the top corner from Cluster. Are you following me on Cluster? If you are not able to see, just check if you are following me, and then you will be able to get patched. Okay, so just refresh from your Cluster page. Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, the G3 Byte cluster has joined our. Okay, we are good to go. Yeah. Hi, Jairaj.
Hi.
Okay, let's begin. Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to the 7th edition of Digitalk. I am Jaivir Mehta. Dear viewer, we are a country with 70% population aged between 25 to 40. Our country is very young and hopes to achieve great milestones in coming years because of the demographic dividend it enjoys. And the youth of India is image conscious, technology savvy, and very adaptive to new, fresh ideas. The same goes in the taste of clothes. We are in the land of colors, and that can be seen in our clothing preferences too. But the retail garment sector has been facing a little bit of heat and pressure since a slowdown, since the time we are experiencing slowdown, and also due to this lockdown. Let's analyze it better. We have for that we have with us Mr. Jairaj Patel, who is representative of he is the owner of the club cluster by G3 multi-store multi-brand fashion store in Surat city. Hello Jairaj.
Hello, hi Jaivir, how are you?
Please welcome to Digitalk, and I would like to ask you to speak for yourself and your company.
Okay. Hello, I'm Jairaj Patel and I'm the owner of Cluster. So we are basically a garment store, a retail garment store which categorizes which caters all categories of garments for men's, women's and for kids in all sections, like you can call it casual, semi-formals, wedding occasions, everything. And we are into this business since 35 years. We have just opened this store 6 months back, the month of October, and this is the biggest store in Gujarat.
Oh wow! So you have mentioned biggest store in Gujarat. So this takes me directly to the very critical question in this reopening phase, that lockdown must have caused a total shutdown of your store. So in such scenario, what are your immediate concerns when you are reopening?
So basically, my main concern would be if customers would come and buy clothes, because as you know, because we have never experienced this lockdown for 60 days, and no one has ever experienced a lockdown. So basically, we are thinking how the customers will come, because as salary are being cut for the people, as there are people being sending to layoffs. So I don't know if people will come and buy clothes because they prefer to buy clothes or spend money in buying clothes. And for me, the main concern would be to earn my revenue without compromising my price. Because now, as the inventory, people will have many inventory, the brands and all will have so much inventory. So they'll go for heavy discounting. But heavy discounting will only lead customers to come in my shop, but the revenue I won't be able to collect it. So there won't be any balance between my revenue revenue earned for me. My basic main concern is the revenue part. Yeah.
Basically, you are trying to say that Jairaj Patel, is trying to balance my cash inflow against my cash outflow, so that even though I don't earn profits, but I would like to get inflows which can cover up my outflows,
All of
right?
my operating costs, my outputs, everything.
Yeah, perfect. So you brought a very correct point. In this lockdown scenario, definitely you must be facing a lot of restrictions when the government gave the guidelines. Like you have to cut down your staff by 50% in terms of attendance. You have to reduce your footfalls by half. Also, you have to take additional measures as a part of health related, hygiene related measure. So, what Jairaj Patel is going to offer, or which measures are you going to take so that your customers are rest assured that entering cluster won't be of any harm?
So basically, for staff, we have made staff to be compulsory. The thermometer is checked, the temperature is checked before they enter. The staffs are compulsory to wear masks and gloves. So that is for the staff. And for the customers, we basically, as soon as the customer enter, they'll be sanitized properly. They'll be their temperature also will be thoroughly checked. And phone number to the security for any future requirements by the government or something like that.
So,
And then we
very
are also
important point to be noted, my dear audience. Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. I interrupted you. Please go ahead. Okay. So, a very important point, yeah, a very important point to be noted, that this young entrepreneur is taking a lot of care to maintain the hygiene in his entire store. So, as the customers or a potential customer like in us, we should definitely cooperate with their staff when they measure our temperature through that thermo guns, then give us sanitizer to clean our hands, and also when they ask you for your basic details like contact numbers, so that if anything happens in future, they can definitely trace back. So
Yeah.
we will definitely keep it in mind. And I would like to come to one more point. Have you faced the migration of staff in your organization?
No, I have not faced in my organization as if, because we only recruit the local people of Surat, and we also recruit the people who come from outside. But majority of us are local people, local staff we have.
Right.
We didn't face any migration of laborers. We faced, but that is in the tailor department and all. But that is manageable actually. We can easily manage it.
Now, coming back to one more point, since you are owning a store which has 7 stories or 8 stories, correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely it entails a lot of staffing costs. Like you must be having a team of 100 or 200 or 300, whatnot. But since considering the government regulation, you have to operate at a very half staffing. So, have you retrained your staff, or how do you plan your using your staff?
So luckily the good thing is we didn't have to lay off anyone, or we didn't lay off anyone, or we didn't tell them to exit anyone. We have maintained this because it's a national situation. Okay, so this is not their fault also, neither our fault also. So to keep a balance between them, we have made 2 teams. That is Team A, Team B, and the staff will be allowed to come only 15 days a month.
Okay, so in that way you can definitely, right, you can ease off the load without laying off your staff, and also maintaining the guidelines given by the government. Okay, my next question to you will be, definitely you have experienced disruption in terms of revenue inflows, and for a longer period of time, customers will be skeptical in getting into your store and making the purchase. So in that scenario, are you planning any online platform, or using any online platform, or home delivery model? What are your plans for getting the revenue?
Yes. We so basically we have started this WhatsApp video calling where
Okay.
a customer can book an appointment through the number given to him. From there, a staff will be assigned to him. So individual staff will be assigned to him, and it will be shown on a tablet or on a phone. And if the customer is willing to buy, we'll get the size from them, and then we'll have to just send the goods through home delivery. So we have
Okay.
started all this channelizing through home delivery, some audio or everything like that.
That's a nice use of the digital platform available with us without incurring much cost. Now, but one problem you might face that if I made a selection of this t-shirt, but supposedly the sizing, I face a sizing issue. In that scenario, I will have to return it back to your store. But
Yeah.
there is a scare that I might have tried it or I might have utilized it just to test, take a trial of that, and that might give some, you can say, some virus might get strict. So, what care are you taking in terms of return of goods?
No, no. For return of goods, we have made a policy that the goods will be accepted within 7 days, and
Okay.
the goods which are bought to us back, we are directly taken to a room with the tailoring department room. There it has been hanged for there it has been hanged for 24 hours, and after 24 hours, we have been using steam irons and we have been doing ironing so that whatever the infection or something is that it's being sanitized properly.
Okay. Now, since you are a big, gigantic family come multi-brand store, so definitely you have a very modest brand as well, a very premium brand as well in your catalog. So I would like to know that what is your cash flow outlay plan? Means how you are going to meet the due dates of payments, or which trader or staff will get the priority in terms of payments or something like that. So what is your basically cash flow planning?
So my cash flow planning would be first, we would make our staff satisfactory. We will pay our
Okay.
staff adequately well, and we'll make regular salaries will be given to them as per their attendance. And then we are basically targeting to pay off the small manufacturing units who are providing goods to us on credit. And then they being so small, so we understand at the current situation they'll need more cash flow or something. So first we like to pay them first, and then the big the companies and all, we'll start paying them slowly as the cash flow is being maintained well.
Right.
But the
And
main target would be the small manufacturing houses or some small units who have been helping us and all that.
that's
So
an
when they help,
exceptional thought process.
so when they
Nice, nice,
help
please
us,
go on.
yes, when they help us in our bad times, so we of course need to help them at their bad times too.
Can you adjust your camera a bit? It's moving a little and your face is getting cut. Okay, perfect.
But
Yeah. So that's an exceptional thought process to take care of the immediate supporters, that is the staff who represent cluster in every which way. Then comes the small traders and small manufacturers who are solely dependent on the revenue generated by selling their goods to cluster entirely. Then comes the big players in the market like Levi's, Being Human, or whatnot you are keeping. So my next question to you is, this Levi, Being Human, definitely they are very big fishes of retail market, but definitely it will include some amount of negotiations and renegotiations in terms of your payments or further stocking and all these things. So what is your thought process behind that?
sorry, I didn't get your question actually. Thought,
Now is the time when you will be negotiating and renegotiating your payment terms or your stocking, that I will take this much stock because of low sale season and all that with the big players. So are they cooperating, or what is their point of connection between you two?
No, it's a win-win situation for actually all of us, for us, for the buyers, and also for the people, also for the big brand. So we won't like to negotiate in such a way where that they are being hampered or they have been affected by our negotiations. So we either negotiate in either way where both there's a balance between both of us. So either we are not facing the losses, nor they are facing the losses, because what we have ordered is they already have in their warehouse. So we have to accept it. We can't just say that we want to cancel our orders or we don't want to accept the goods, because that will be a very bad. It will be unethical business. So in this situation, the buyers, the wholesalers, the manufacturers all need to go in a hand-hand situation. So then only we can accomplish a win-win situation then.
Nice. But when it comes to payment, definitely you will have to see the realities in terms of your on-hand balances lying with you, as well as your future revenues which are not yet materialized. So you will have to release the payments to big players. So any planning in that payment system?
So that will be dependent as on as the revenue is generated. Yeah. Currently, we cannot say anything which is not general, because the customers flow, the revenue flow, it's uncertain currently. So once it is certain, then only we'll have to make a plan of the payments and all.
Right, right.
Currently, surviving is only the thing. Payments and all that will be done once you survive.
Okay. So coming to my next point, which is directly hitting the key portion of any business is the revenue generation. So now that you already missed certain festivals like Ramzan Eid or some other festivals wherein people generally tend to buy new clothes. Now, the coming festive season, what is your foresight or what is your prediction for that particular aspect?
So for that, I feel slowly as the government is easing the regulations and the rules what they have been doing in the lockdown. So as soon as they are releasing slowly, so I feel the customers will start coming, and then during the time of July, when is near between Raksha Bandhan or something, there'll be a clearance sale. I think where all the brands will put a clearance sale, and I think that will start the cash flow, and that customers will start believing and they'll start coming and buying and all that.
So my follow-up question to this is, you might be holding a lot of inventory because of constant slack of 3 months or one full season or one quarter. So that inventory must be entailing some cost to you. So in terms of, for example, if you're keeping an inventory of 100 rupees, then what is the basic cost which you will be facing of just maintaining the inventory and without any use?
So if you say, so basically maintaining inventory is directly proportional to your inventory storing. So where my inventory is stored, there I have already so much of expenses of my warehousing. Warehouse expenses there. The person who's handling the warehouse, his expenses there. The electricity bill is there of the warehouse. The books which are maintained where the stock is generated, the software. So I feel roundabout, if you say consider 100 rupees for a price, 15 rupees would be my charges on the warehouse costing.
Oh. So that will definitely make your product little bit costly. Or I believe that since you are also keeping this much amount of inventory, many other players, small or big, no matter, across the spectrum must be having a lot of inventories in hand. So don't you think that in future when you will be introducing sale, there will be blood on the market because everybody will be fiercely competitive and trying to win customers? Is it true?
Yeah, that is true. That is 100% true because everyone is filled with inventory. So the main aim, I'm telling you, the main aim for all retailers, I think currently would be removing the inventory and maintaining the liquidity of flow, liquidity of cash flow plus the liquidity of stock.
Right.
That will only by liquidating the stock and by liquidating the cash flow we are going to win in this situation, and by being positive. That's all.
Okay, so you're positive about the future that things will fall in place sooner or later by the time Diwali comes or the Christmas comes, right?
Yes, 100%. Everything will be back to normal, I think, by Christmas or by Diwali.
That's the right optimism. That's the right optimism expected from a young entrepreneur. Now coming to a very critical question, which can appear to be a threat in near future. During the lockdown, every customer learned one thing, that as soon as there was little relaxation, we could order something online by through retail aggregators like Ajio, Jabong, Flipkart, Amazon, etc., etc. So don't you think that is a big threat for a brick and mortar store, and that to such a huge store like yours?
I don't believe there can be any threat to a brick and mortar store ever, because customers that the try and buy mindset will, I think, never go out of an Indian customer. I feel in India especially, because the Indian mentality, first you want to try, you want to see the fitting, you want to see the look, you want to see how the color is suiting. Then only people will go and buy the clothes. So the try and buy mindset, I think we don't feel online shopping as being a threat. Maybe temporarily for a couple of months people will prefer online, but then gradually they come back to the try and buy mindset.
I would like to add one more point which just popped into my head, that because of this lockdown and all that, government put restriction on rituals like marriages or receptions or something like that. And I guess you just said in the introductory remarks that you cater to the bridal wear as well. So, and I believe that those bridal wear are exclusively, you can say, expensive. So, so how will you manage that particular loss of sales?
That is not a loss of sale actually. If a bride is getting married now or later, she'll want to look the best. She'll want to look the best. So people are going to spend in bridal wear. In weddings, so I think people won't compromise it. Even though if there are 1,000 people allowed or 200 people allowed in a wedding. Wedding, I think people won't compromise on the price of a dress or something.
Okay.
That
So definitely, you can definitely eat that up and adjust your appetite accordingly, and so that you can put your revenue and cost model on rail, right?
Yeah, right.
Nice, nice. Now let me come to a very personal question. That how did you use your lockdown period? Whether you spent time on research or something, the future of retail industry or what? So kindly elaborate on that.
Well, this lockdown was completely a long due vacation for us, for the retailers, I feel, because we keep working day and night, we keep traveling, look after clothes, look after our store. This. So I think the 60 days we have got to time to socialize with our parents. We never stayed 60 days continuous home with our mom or with my dad. I've never spent time because of traveling and all. So now I've socialized with my friends, my old lost friends, school friends. Now we have got in touch. We have started video calling, Zoom calling. So it was like a mini vacation for us, yeah. 60 days.
Right, right, right. Any special message you would like to give to your customers, existing customers, or some new fresh customers through this medium?
Yeah, that cluster is the only place where you can buy the right thing at the right time with the right possible variety. And you all must visit and you all must stay positive and face this situation as normal only. It's like nothing happened. Like people will come back. We have to come back with positivity.
Wow, that was some amazing session with a market leader and like you said, the owner of a biggest family multi-brand superstore called Cluster by G3. They have the experience, a deep legacy, a fresh young blood like Jairaj Patel. So please visit Cluster and get your fashion requirements sorted. Thank you, Jairaj, for giving your time. It was exceptional talking to you. We will wish to see you more and see you just taking this post-corona scenario positively.
Thank you so much, Javi. Bye. Take care.
And thank you, audience, for your patient hearing. I'll be coming up with few more entrepreneurs like Jairaj Patel soon. Thank you for your encouragement.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.